Hi, I'm sorry, I do not know Ukrainian, so this has to be in English. Thank you for being here. I'm trying to learn as we expand into CIS, but thank you. This is great. I've spoken at few conferences over the last few weeks, but I haven't seen such a big audience anywhere else. So thank you. My name is Sankalp. I'm the CEO of LaLaWorld. We are based in Singapore, but we have offices in 6 other countries: Malaysia, Bangladesh, India, UAE, and we're setting up in Azerbaijan and Turkey as we speak. LaLaWorld, very simple. We started last year in Singapore. Lala from Lala Lands. We've been very impressed with the movie, and that's how this concept, this company started. Lala means happy. Lala means smiles, and that's what we are here to bring. We are a bank for the unbanked. We are a banking for the poor. There are about 2.5 billion people on this earth, almost half of the world, which do not have banking facilities. Most of us are very lucky to have a bank account, a brokerage account, and we can have cards, we can have all the lending facilities, but imagine most of Southeast Asia, Africa, parts of CIS, parts of South America, which still do not have access to normal financial inclusion. And then there are migrants, and then there are a lot of people who travel from, let's say, Sri Lanka to Bangladesh to Malaysia, who struggle every day just to make money. There are a lot of companies, a lot of governments who are trying to solve this problem, but failed because there was no blockchain, there was no peer-to-peer ledger, there was no distributed ledger, and these guys, even today, get suppressed by middlemen, by brokers, by dodgy government officials, bureaucrats in that part of the world. So, very simply, we are banking for the unbanked. We want to make human lives better. 2.5 billion unbanked, non-human methods of treating them. Our vision is to touch 100 million people by 2020. We are not just about financial inclusion. I'm sorry, I don't know how to operate this. Great. So it's not only about financial inclusion. This is the whole LaLaWorld is an ecosystem which includes employment, education, and health for the migrants, for the farmers, for the poor of the world. I've already touched this. What we are trying to do. Banks are making money. Capital markets are making money. Brokers, middlemen, technology, everything has improved, but the plight of these poor people remains the same. A migrant still struggles, a farmer still struggles, a guy living in an island on Philippines still does not have access to even basic amenities. Sometimes they don't have food, and everything leads to criminality, and eventually these people die. That's the real truth. A migrant who works for 10 years in Malaysia goes back home, has no money, no education, no opportunities. We are trying to change that. And we are not a charity. We are not doing this a charitable way, because charity does not work. We are a sustainable, self-sustainable social business which makes money and invests back into these communities to make them self-sustainable, to make lives better for these guys. Lot of companies, like I said, lot of governments, even United Nations has set up this sustainable goals to improve the lives. The change is already happening. We are just accelerating that change on blockchain, on this distributed ledger, by creating peer-to-peer decentralized network where via Lala token as a local currency, you can pretty much do all the services, which I will talk about in a bit. There are agents of this ecosystem who are trying to stop this change. There are too many middlemen, too many brokers who want to keep everything for themselves. There are banks and governments with capital controls. These unbanked people have no KYC, little or no identities. Because of not having any digital identities, they cannot open bank accounts, they cannot get loans, they cannot transfer money, they can pretty much do nothing. And they do not have any incentives to adopt to this change. So we are an ecosystem who's trying to adopt that change, and we are doing that by a platform which is called LaLaWorld. LaLaWorld has 4 main products. When you log in for the first time, and by the way, we are a real product already in Malaysia, Bangladesh, and India, with 1 million users already on the platform. We have 4 products. The first one is Lala ID and Lala Score, which is kind of an e-passport on blockchain, which stores all your information, KYC, bank statements, address, everything, including facial recognition and fingerprinting on the blockchain. Through Lala ID, then you can have 4 main products. The first one is Lala Bill Payments across 140 countries, Lala Transfer, which is cross-border remittance, Lala Lends, which is peer-to-peer and micro-lending, and Lala Card, which will come next year, but which is a prepaid card to begin with, and then through Lala Score, we'll get into credit cards as well. We're also making our own POS terminals, which we will be introducing in Southeast Asia to begin with. Our strength, why we are doing this, with so many people trying to do this, so many people in the past have done this. Our strength is our global partnerships. Today, we have over 50 global partnerships. These include governments, communities, local NGOs, and people on the ground. For example, in Malaysia, we've signed a 10-year partnership that every migrant going to Malaysia has to be on LaLaWorld. In UAE, we have signed with e-Fatura, which is making Dubai paperless. In CIS, we are already starting in Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan, and that's partly the reason we are here, to look for more partners in this part of the world. In Turkey, we're starting with municipality of Istanbul. In India, we've already launched. In Bangladesh, we partnered with a local bank with 100 distribution channels. Locally, we also have Lala Shops, Lala Franchises, and Lala Force. Lala Force are people on these motorbikes which go around delivering cash to your home. So something like a mobile ATM. And everything moves around Lala tokens, which have already, we just finished the pre-sale today, or are finishing the pre-sale today. But eventually we are focusing on Lala tokens to become the currency of the world for these unbanked people. We're also planning to launch in Africa and South America very soon, in the next 6 months. Another strength is these 3 main services that I just spoke about, and everything sits on a single app, single wallet. Pretty much that's banking on one app. Again, in this part of the world and in the capital regions like Kyiv, we are again very lucky. We have seen this different banks providing it, but the regions that we are talking, the unbanked of the world, they still don't know. But they can't even afford a smartphone, to be honest. Our user base, like I said, we have about 500,000 in Malaysia alone. We're targeting 100,000 in India. We've already reached almost that number, and so on and so forth. So we should have about 10 million users in the next 6 months with the real product, and pretty much everything on distributed ledger. Obviously, our technology, we have got 25 blockchain developers working in India and Dubai and Singapore. We are hiring 500 more, not only for LaLaWorld, but for third-party development as well. So happy to talk to anyone on development of different products. The reason why we are currently doing an ICO, we're not doing this ICO for money. Between us and our shareholders, we've got enough. But there has to be some method to incentivize these unbanked people. Otherwise, they don't care who you are. They're struggling for food and money. They don't want to be on the wallet. So Lala tokens and blockchain becomes a blessing in disguise to incentivize these poor guys to stay on the blockchain. For everything, every little thing they do on the wallet, they are incentivized. For KYC, for doing transactions, for referring other people. And that Lala token is as good as cash. For example, we have integrated with local 7-Elevens called KK Marts in Malaysia, where he can go top up or cash out through Lala tokens. Similarly, we have created all these partnerships in various countries, and we're building a huge wallet. We are already the world's largest migrant platform, but now we're working towards expanding that platform globally in many, many countries. Something like an Alibaba or Alipay for blockchain, for the unbanked. This is Lala Kit. Lala Kit is a very unique concept. A migrant, when he moves from, let's say, Bangladesh to Malaysia, he's handed a Lala Kit as soon as he gets his visa. Lala Kit contains a free phone, a smartphone. It contains an insurance for him and his mother back home. It contains a SIM card, and it also has some goodies from other subsidies. The phone cost me $50 today, 50, made in Sri Lanka, assembled in Sri Lanka. Out of that $50, $25 are discounted and subsidized by a few governments, few local partners, enterprises, and the remaining $25, we have digital advertising with various large corporates, so that we can give this phone for free. The SIM card, we've already distributed 68,000 SIM cards with a special chip inside, which contains your digital IDs. So the guy has a phone, the guy has a SIM card which contains his ID. Now he has to stay on the wallet. And on top of that, we keep on incentivizing him at every step so that he does not leave the wallet at all. This is a normal journey. This is a guy, Rahim. He leaves Bangladesh. I've just walked you through his journey, basically. But once he reaches in Malaysia, and because he has some Lala tokens in his wallet, at least now he can make a call back home. At least he can send some money back home. At least he can pay a bill for his family back home. And the more he uses, the more he keeps on earning. And then on top of that, we have health doctors, freelancers working with us in case they get sick. We have lawyers working with us in case they have visa or any other problems. We're working with almost 90% employers in Malaysia alone who help us if in case they have any employment issues. We're working with various academies and setting up our own education centers to uplift them. The goal is not charity. The goal is to make these lives better. The goal is to provide them with the tools so that they can have a chance to become one of us. And that's been missing for, 1,000 years. Nobody cares about them. And that's what we are about to change here. A simple and clear roadmap. We're very focused. 4 products, like I defined, Lala Lens, Lala Transfer, Lala Card, and Lala ID, Lala Score. And these geographies, we've already launched in India, Malaysia. We're launching in Bangladesh as we speak. UAE, we've just announced a big partnership. Azerbaijan, Turkey, Turkmenistan. Happy to talk to any partners, anybody in this part of the world where we can expand across CIS. We have a banking partner we're working very closely, one of the largest banks. I cannot name it today, but as the agreement is being signed. But any buddy who wants to talk or help the cause, I'm around. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shangari. Guys, if you have some questions, so please, not Ukrainian, just English, please, okay? Are you planning peer-to-peer microloans within the system?
Already doing them. We are already doing peer-to-peer microloans in India. We're starting in Malaysia. We're waiting for a money lending license, and then we're starting same in UAE. I have been doing peer-to-peer loans for 6 years in my previous companies.
And you have some scoring system available to everyone?
Yes, it's called LaLaScore, which is an in-house credit-driven algorithm which combines Lala ID. Lala ID has 5 stars, so you are rated 1 to 5 star, and LaLaScore is 1 to 10. So you're rated on a score 1 to 10. Both combined give you some amount of loans that you're eligible for. Thank you.
Thank you. One more question. Okay. I'm going. В следующий раз ближе садитесь.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
I have several questions. Okay, 2 of them. First of all, did you had any negotiations with Ukrainian government to provide your technology here in our country? Because I think we have similar problems like in Bangladesh. And also, I'd like to know, did you have any negotiations with UN, United Nations organization? And also, I had a question from my colleagues. How much money did you collect on pre-ICO? Thank you.
Sure. So, good. Ukrainian government? No. That's what we're looking for, partners here who either have a large distribution network here, like local 7-Elevens, or the government themselves. We do not have any partners here in this part of the world, so definitely looking for them. United Nations, we are already one of our partners. Global Compact Network Singapore, which is a United Nations initiative for sustainability. With them, we are soon celebrating the UN Migrant Day. We are also working with a Washington-based organization, which is a part of UN. So definitely working very closely with UN. For example, I'll give you one example, Rohingyas. There's a big problem of Rohingyas in Myanmar right now, where they are being forced out in a barbaric way out of Myanmar to Bangladesh and Thailand. If they had Lala ID or a digital ID, they could go to a new country and establish themselves very quickly. Right now, it's a huge problem because neither the Myanmar government recognizes them, neither the Bangladesh government. So they are in a limbo, sitting on the border with no money and no food. So again, United Nations and organizations like that are closely working. So we have been, for this effort, we have been covered in Huffington Post. You can go to the website. There's a full article about this. There was a third question I forgot. I'm sorry. Yes, sorry.
How much money have you raised?
I deliberately forgot that. So in the pre-ICO, we have raised 3 million so far, and we have a commitment of 9.5 million more. Total, we are raising 150,000 Ether as a hard cap, 75,000 in the pre-sale. But ideally, we want to raise $15-20 million. I think we are on track, and we might not even do the ICO. And we are only doing 250 million tokens, not like billion, 1.5 billion. And in the ICO, there'll be no bonus whatsoever if we do.
That's cool. Applause. Don't be shy. Okay. We can take 2 questions if you have. No questions. Okay. So
okay. I just want to leave
yes,
on a small note. We are here for 2 things. One is obviously the ICO, the pre-sale, which ends today, but for the next few days you can still participate. There is a last few days ongoing bonus. We are outside. There is also a special referral code which you can use. So please help us with this cause. At the end of the day, let's be humans. Blockchain is not all about trading and making short-term money. I think it's a super technology which can bring the other half of the world together. Second, thank you. Second, we are looking for partners. Any kind of partners. It can be media, it can be government connections, it can be distribution, it can be technology. because I cannot solve this alone. We just can't. It's a global issue, and we need everybody to pitch in. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one more question here. Yeah.
Thank you for this initiative.
Thank you.
Initiative. It's very timely initiative. But I would like to understand your goals in a strategic way. Can you give us a timeline? You mentioned 1 million target for the 2 years, yeah?
No.
2020, 1 million.
We already have 500,000 users. 1 million we will have by end of January. We will have 10 million by end of 2018.
And what is your estimation following?
Sorry?
Next decade estimation.
Next
Okay, 10 years.
10 years, I don't know. Nobody knows. I will be a fool if I answer that question. I don't want to think beyond 5 years. I don't know how technology will change.
Okay, you are trying to get people out of the survival level.
Sorry?
You are lowering the threshold
Yeah.
to get poor people from the level of survival. It's clear. But as soon as they leave this level, the greed rises.
Yes.
And you provide them with the financial instrument which just stimulates the greed.
Very good question, and that is where the LaLa token comes in. That's exactly why we're doing the ICO, to keep the greed on. Humans by nature are greedy. That's not going to change, be it rich, be it poor. By incentivizing them with LaLa token at each and every step, I'm keeping the greed on, so that they stay there, and while they stay there, their lives improves, the GDP improves, their economic well-being improve. We are focusing on these 4 products, but we have many more products coming, like LaLa Wealth, LaLa Insurance, LaLa Education, LaLa Health, LaLa IDs, etc., etc. So we will keep on enhancing the value of LaLa Wallet, so that these guys keep on sticking to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shangari. You are doing a great job. Thank you.